Good morning, YTPC. Coming at you via the virtual airwaves, as Padre Piper would say, across this wonderful thing we call the internet. Hopefully everybody out there is having a good day. Realistically, I'm bored. Got nothing really going on. Might as well smoke. Gotta be honest though. Drove for an hour. Finished it up. Got completely finished. Decided to go live. I'm gonna load it again. Now, some people are gonna say, "Oh no, you gotta wait. You gotta let that pipe rest." Some pipes you do. This little beauty from RNA Treasures, not so much. Happens to be my free pipe. The official pipe of my Free Stuff Friday. It's an Italian briar, rusticated. Into it, I'm going to load. Hey, Piper 69, how you doing? Into this pipe, I'm loading Planta 2016 blend. The one that they call the Cosmopolitan blend. Piper, I am doing absolutely phenomenal. If I was Curly Bill from a certain movie, I'd say I am capital. Of course, I'm not. Such a good movie. Got the windows down. It's a little bit cool this morning. Yeah, I did. I won the TPI Tobacco Pipes International Sampler giveaway. 7 blends. Haven't seen it yet. I'm sitting here like a giddy 5-year-old waiting. Hoping to have it this weekend. If not, it'll show up when it shows up. That's always the best part about GAWs is the waiting, the anticipation, the being able to show some love to your fellow man or woman, and hopefully getting to enjoy some really, really nice blends of tobacco. Or a new pipe, or whatever. This one happens to be one of those freebies. As I said earlier, from RNA Treasures. You would think at the prices, right, I saw that. Yeah, the Numa coffee from Bean Piper. Thank you, sir. If anybody is wanting to go find this particular pipe, you get on Twitter or Instagram or any of the social media sites, really, and you find RNA Treasures. It's the initials of Randy, the letter N, and the initial of Angelo, because it's Randy and Angelo. They're up out of Florida. Really, I gotta tell you, some of the best pipes you can ever really grab hold of. Gabriel, hey, Good to see you today. And anyways, Randy and Angelo up out of Florida, RNA Treasures. They've got some really, really nice briars at unbelievable prices. Now, all right, a lot of the ultra inexpensive ones are B grade, meaning that they are not the absolute 100% best, no filler in the bowl, no sand pits, none of that. But I've been smoking this one since January, every Friday, almost every time I'm jumping in the car, well, truck. And the bowl holds an hour and a half, sometimes more. Smokes marvelously. I believe I priced this one out on their site at 25 bucks. Did I just say 25 bucks? Yeah, I think that's what I priced it out at. But they've got some French briar ones that are like 18. Including shipping, you're going to get it for a little more than 22 bucks. That's US, in case anybody's looking for overseas. I'm not sure what your shipping there would be, but inside the United States, yes, you can get a good quality pipe. Now, it's a B grade pipe, but the French briars, they're wonderful smokers. I mean, to try and tell everybody about them every time I'm on, I sometimes fail at that, but you can't hope for a better pipe at a better price. I've got some $100 pipes that do not smoke half as well as the French briar or the Italian briar that I've gotten out of RNA Treasures. It's really, really great. Thank you, Piper69. I'm glad you got a chance to check out my website. Anybody who's looking for that, that is www, as always, dot, wow, we're losing focus. All right, let's start that over. www.pipes-cigars-reviews. All three of them are plural. All three of them are squished into one word. .wordpress.com. So the official is www.pipescigarsreviews.wordpress.com. That takes you right to the Voodoo Review blog site where I review pipes, cigars, tobacco blends, anything realistically dealing with premium tobacco. Some say that my reviews are pretty good. I'm just doing it more as a way to keep track of what all I have tried. I've tried a bunch since October when I started. I was pushed into it, in fact, by Phil from Briar Report. He liked my little quick hit reviews on Twitter so much that he said, man, you have to put this online somewhere. You got to do it. So I did. I'm not a good writer. Let's straight up statement. I am not a good writer. Suffolk Piper, howdy. Woo! Must be almost 2 o'clock your time. Good seeing you, brother. Well, instead of just holding this, I'm going to light this up so we can all enjoy a little bit of smoke. Those who can and those who can't. If you can't, I'm sorry for your luck. I understand the real world sometimes does not allow you to smoke as often as you would like. 1:42 precisely. That's about what I figured just by looking at my clock. Somehow I did the math one time with Suffolk Piper, and if it's 8 o'clock here, it's 1 o'clock there. It's almost 2 o'clock there, so it's got to be about almost 9 o'clock here. I don't have much to do until about 10, so I've got a good hour. All right. Smoking the Italian Briar from RNA Treasures. In it is the Planta 2016 Cosmopolitan Blend. It's got little hints of lime and cranberries. It's supposed to be reminiscent of a cosmopolitan drink, if you happen to like those. If not, well, yeah, it's about 6 hours. Well, no, it'd be about 5 hours, because if it's 9 here, it's 2 there. Maybe it's 7. I'm off. It is what it is, but I'm gonna light it. And enjoy it. Oh, gotta tell you, I love Fridays. I normally get done early. I don't have anything else to do, and when I do have stuff to do, well, that's when y'all don't see me. But if I'm done, I'm done. Oh yeah, I appreciate every time anybody hits that link. Doesn't have a big following, but when I do a review, at least on a tobacco blend, I go with 4 pipes. I go with what I call the Ugly Briar. Now, it is not a pretty pipe. A little $5 garage sale pipe. It had a broken stem when I bought it, and it was beat up. But I wanted a yard pipe, a throwdown pipe, something that smokes great, and if you got to set it down, even if it's outside, you're like, yeah, who cares? It was cheap to buy, and I got a hold of it cheap. Well, I found that pipe. It was great. The Atypical Hustlers. Good morning. How are you doing today? I've never seen you on my feeds ever, but good to have you here with us this morning. Hopefully you're doing well. As always, if you see somebody you have never met, show them a little love. They're showing us some love. A little bit of sub love is always good. Well, Atypical, you have found the YTPC. We are a group of YouTube people that smoke pipes. I smoke cigars also. Some do, some don't. Actually, a very large growing community, and we all seem to enjoy each other's company fairly well. Haven't found anybody I really just can't stand on here. Now, if there's anything anybody would like to discuss, go ahead. Shoot it in there. I'll try. I'm not saying I know enough to actually discuss it, but I discuss a lot of issues from time to time. And I do review a lot of stuff. Again, it's not because I'm some sort of somebody famous or ultra great at this. They tell me I'm pretty good at it. They do, not me. I'm just a guy. Regular, ordinary, Texas. I am definitely Texas. Well, with nobody saying much of anything, I hope we're all getting to at least enjoy a little bit of tobacco or something that's enjoyment based for all of us. Recently, I think the world has turned itself on its head and gone a little bit crazy. Look, I don't mind people who smoke those vapor boxes or whatever they're called. There's a lot of communities out there nowadays where you can't smoke a pipe or a cigar. There's places in California you can't smoke a cigar in your own backyard. Your own backyard. Let that sink in. Can't smoke your own pipe or cigar in a backyard. Germain's Plum Cake. I have heard really good things about that. I'm looking forward to my first chance to get that. Not sure when that'll be, but now, is Germain's Plum Cake, does it come in a cake form or is it just the name? I'm hoping with a name like Plum Cake that it actually comes in a cake. Nicely pressed. It's a ribbon cut. Well, okay. But I've still heard really good things about it. So, to me, I'm interested. Crazy thing about the people who like vapor, the vaping box or pens or whatever they are, they've got some really interesting flavor combinations. I'm wondering if at some point somebody doesn't try to get pipe tobaccos to taste like vape flavors so that somebody who would like to progress into a pipe might actually find something that they're interested in that they're already smoking. Well, sometimes those light aromatics are better than the harsh ones. Some of the ones I call harsh, like there's one from C&D. Oh my God, smells great. And for one bowl, it's beautiful. Autumn Evening. Autumn Evening is awesome. But you load that second bowl and you're like, man, you get to the end of it and you're like, man, I'm really kind of waiting for this one to end just so I can smoke something different. Now, change of pace, Autumn Evening, supremely good. Single setup, ready to smoke. It's great. And I suggest out of a clay, because somehow out of a clay pipe, it just intensifies the flavors. It gives you the full flavor all the time. Nutty flavor. All right. I'm digging it. We can't get C&D here. Oh, man. Oh, that's because almost everything that they do is flavored. That's right. England has a ban on that. They won't let you ship it in. At least that's what I have been led to believe. That might not be the actual case, but that's what I've been led to believe. I try to keep in touch with the exact issues going on in other countries. I don't try to discuss them so much. Oh yeah. See, that's where Autumn Evening really excels. It'll remind you of pancakes with maple syrup. But believe me, if you get a big bowl of it, or you move to your second bowl of it, you get to that point where you're just like, oh. It starts to wear on you. No. England's not against aromatics. They're against the importing. And that really slows down the ability of anybody who is in England, or Britain, as it is. You're not going to get it unless they somehow can get it on like Smoking Pipes Europe. If for some reason it can be brought in at Smoking Pipes Europe, you might be able to somehow get it smuggled over to you. I have to say smuggled because it seems like the British government is completely put the kibosh on any kind of importation of aromatic blends. Now that's one thing I have told many a person. Look, if you're going to a foreign country, when you Get your plans ready to go. Find out if there's some blends they cannot get. Go over with a couple of tins. Make a couple of face-to-face friends. This YTPC community is really good for that. Let them know where you're going to be. Maybe y'all can meet up face-to-face, do a quick little trade. There's some blends out of England that we can't get. I keep hearing Velvet. I've never seen it locally in the United States. I'd be interested in trying it. I hear it's really good. I didn't say that, Suffolk. The British government has their issues and they keep to them. There's an interesting thing. It's been going on a lot lately in Twitter. British citizens come over trying to tell us Yanks about the dangers and hazards of firearms. Now, I live in Texas. I've grown very accustomed to firearms. We have an abundance. But even though we have this abundance of firearms, Texas is in a lot of ways safer than these locations outside of Texas that have so many gun laws that there's absolutely no way they like guns at all. But you get these people coming over from countries that there's no legal gun ownership, or if there is, it's so restricted that owning one is like owning a Bugatti. You got to have the money, you got to have the time to just mess around with it and hope that you can get approved. It's not the case in Texas, but it's the case in other countries and other cities in the United States. And what they feel works for them, and I have seen differently, and they want to come and tell. I just had a bug fly in my ear. That's the problems with sitting outside in nice weather. You will eventually get bugs. Now, I don't try to pick on these people from other countries. But when they play themselves off as if they're Americans and actually have some reason to make some sort of comment upon gun control in the United States of America, I know enough about the issues globally that I ask them politely, sometimes not politely, to fix their own country first before trying to fix mine. Not everybody seems to agree with that statement, but I don't see any reason why, with all the problems here in America, I should be telling other countries how to live their life. But no country's perfect, and I don't see any reason for them to come over here trying to tell me how to live my life. You know, I was originally from California. I'm glad to not be in California anymore. I enjoy being able to sit outside and smoke a pipe or a cigar. Small little rant. Not sure if it matters. It could be my military background that has decided for me that firearms are not bad. Firearms, when used appropriately, it's just a tool. Exactly the case, Suffolk Piper. Exactly the case. Now, I like to tell people that my rights are mine and their rights are theirs. But when the Constitution of the United States becomes attacked, I will defend it. And I'll defend it with everything I got. Some people don't really understand that. I'm also saying I will defend their rights. Even if I don't like the person, I'll defend their rights. I'm going to be fair about it. They don't have to like me. In fact, most people, when they get to know me, don't like me. I'm a bit rough around the edges. I understand that. Now, I will say that people in the military, first responders, you know, these people who lay their life on the line, they tend to like me. There's a certain brotherhood there. It's very similar to the pipes and cigars community. We have a certain amount of brotherhood. Unlike other groups, we can discuss anything. I don't ever discuss religion outside of a very, very small select group. So, too many people get upset about it. They get upset very quickly about it. And politics, I try not to discuss politics very often. Again, it is not my job in any way, shape, or form to discuss politics of another nation. They're doing the best that they think that they can. Sometimes what they're saying, I absolutely disagree with. It just is, it's that way. And, you know, politics here in America, I understand. There's a lot of people that do not agree with them. Right now, we have a president here in the United States, Donald Trump. Now, some like him, some don't. I'm not going to talk about whether you like him or not. I personally don't like him as a human being. I voted for him because I disliked Hillary more. And I hate that I have to choose, instead of somebody who's right for the job, the lesser of two evils, or at least as I see it, the lesser of two evils. I hate that. But that's what American politics has been realistically reduced to in the last 12 to 15 years. Now he conducts himself like as if he already owns it, and he can hire and fire anybody, and it's his way or no way. There's a lot wrong with that. But I still saw it as the better choice between Hillary and Trump. Time will tell whether that was true or not. But unless Hillary becomes president, there's no way to really quantify that answer. I will say I watch a lot of BBC. I've found that for news, BBC is pretty good. I've heard France 24 is really good. My take on BBC is that they do not care enough about what's going on in America to put a political lean one way or the other. They come out, they announce the facts, and like Walter Cronkite, they wish us the best of luck, and then they're on to the next subject. It's gotten to the point where I can't stand American politics always up front and center in my news. Only time I watch a local station is when I'm trying to watch the weather and the traffic. Now, there's some things that Trump has come out as being for that I am firmly for. But that comes from life experience. My life experience had me living down around the Texas border. And we have almost zero true immigration control. They don't know who's coming across the border. They don't know what their intents are. They don't know if they're packing drugs or coming to do something legitimate. And, you know, except for these island nations, immigration control can have very, very dire effects. Now, it could have some good effects also. Don't get me wrong. But if you ever get the chance to go down around the border of Texas, I'm going to remind you that A, it's dangerous, and B, it could be made better simply by putting in a wall. The maintenance on a wall is much cheaper than the thousands of people we have to send down there as watchers. And well, I don't even know how to explain how many thousands of people we have to put down there every year, and you got to pay them. And a wall that would generally funnel most of the traffic into the correct and proper immigration locations. In the United States, it's non-existent. So yes, I would like to see the wall built. It's not about keeping people out. It has nothing to do with keeping people out. It has to do with keeping them coming in legally, in the correct procedure. When I was in the military, we were stationed, or I was stationed in 2 different places where I was very close to a border, and I was informed both times, look, you cross that border, it's only right there. It might be a couple of feet, it might be a couple of miles, but if you cross it and they pick you up over there, the rest of your life you're in a prison because you crossed illegally. Now, I'm not advocating for that. But I do want some legalized control. I don't want to wake up one day and some foreign army has marched across and suddenly now there's a war going on and no warning. And not to say that a wall is going to stop a foreign army. It's just going to slow them down and allow people to understand, hey, look, this is going on. Hey, we need to do something about this. Again, island nations don't really have that big of an issue because a foreign army is going to need a foreign navy to transport them over or a foreign air force. I mean, I seem to remember World War II was a lot of nations that were suddenly inundated by foreign nations' military forces. I don't ever want to have that happen again on this planet. I'd much prefer to live in peace. Peace and happiness to all. But you can't put 100 people together in a room and have them agree on everything. Not unless you're cloning them. Even then you might have issues. It's just my take. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. So here in Texas, we got these nice bright blue skies. You can see them right over that shoulder. But we have a ton of oak pollen up right now. So my allergies are killing me. For me, it is the worst part about spring. I love sitting outside, smoking a pipe or a cigar. Nice glass of brandy or bourbon or scotch. But between bugs and pollen, my allergies almost kill me every year. I'm a little confused on your sentence there, Gabriel. I'm not saying everybody's got to join the military. Believe me, it's not for everybody. It was my path out of a bad situation as a kid. Part of my bad situation is why I am a little rough around the edges. Grew up in an abusive house. I got a mom who will tell you every story about my sister and couldn't think of one about me. I don't know why they even had me. Other than, I guess, sex sometimes has that consequence. I have only one child, 25 years old. He's in the Air Force. He wouldn't listen to me when he was getting in, and he took a job in security forces. The recruiter told him, "Oh, you joined security forces, and then when you re-up 6 years later, we'll get you in as a pilot." He's as blind as I am. They'll never let him fly. Well, Gabriel, I'm glad we're still friends. I try to be a good guy. I also try to be a fair person about my opinions. Not that everybody will agree with me, but I try. Sometimes I even succeed. Whew. Rustic Piper, hey, how you doing today? I'm smoking the Planta 2016. Well, it's the blend from 2016, and it's called the Cosmopolitan Blend. Well, Gabriel, I appreciate your grandfather's time in the service. I appreciate everybody's time in service. My time was not very long, not dangerous. I got in the last days of President Bush Sr. and got invited to leave by President Clinton. Yeah, invited to leave. That's when they tell you that your job is no longer available and you have to switch to infantry, and that's the only option you have. Now, the other option is to not re-enlist and to go on into the civilian sector. So, Rustic, how are you doing today? Hopefully good. And if you're smoking, what are you smoking? Oh, man. Look. Everybody bow down to Rustic. We are not worthy. Getting the Escudo and a Savinelli. I'm jealous. Well, a little. I still have yet to own a Savinelli. I've looked at them several hundred times, but I've never pulled the trigger and said, yeah, I'm going to spend that money. One of these days I will. Thank you very much. That's right, give some sub love out there. Smoky Pipes, smokypipes.com, definitely a good site. I get pounds of tobacco from them. I buy it in bulk. I smoke it all month. I review what I can of it. Unless I absolutely hate the blend, I'll give any blend I actually sort of like, even if it's just barely like, I'll give it a review. I refuse to give bad reviews on the grounds that somebody worked very hard to make that blend. They did everything they could to get that blend exactly the way they wanted it. And to walk in and say, God, this blend sucks, it's not in me. Now, definitely, the Luxury Twist and the Navy Flake, definitely good stuff there. Like, you will never see me do pumpkin spice anything. I don't like the flavor of it. I know I don't like the flavor of it. They could deliver me a pound every day for the rest of my life, and all I would end up doing is giving it away to other people. So, folk, good seeing you, brother. You take care. Know we're thinking about you, even if you're not here. Soapboat Piper. Kind of like that guy. Never met him. But if I ever get a chance to get out to England, I'm going to be bringing him some C&D, this, that, and the other, because he can't get it there, and I can get plenty of it here. And I'm betting he'll have something that I can't get here that he's got plenty of over there. Oh, allergy pills got me all dried out, so I'm drinking a lot of water today. Just having a good time, smoking a pipe, enjoying the weather, catching a tan on this side of my face. Probably won't be doing this as much in August. Sitting out here in August, it'll be 95 degrees already. All you'd see is that I'm sweating profusely. I would not want to be in Nebraska right now just because of that flooding. Rustic, you be very careful if you got to go out, especially with that pneumonia. Make sure you take all those medicines all the way, because you'll feel better before you're actually all the way through with it. And I've known a lot of people, they'll take the medicine until they feel better, and then they'll just lax off on it. And then it comes back and it's resistant because now it's fought against the antibiotics. And instead of being wiped out the first shot, it comes back twice as bad. Man. 5 times a year, pneumonia. Good Lord. That can't be good. But you're still smoking a pipe even with pneumonia? That's stout. You, sir, are a trooper. It is definitely better than cigarettes. I mean, you're not pulling it into your lungs. It's not the same style of smoking as cigarettes. But I'm not even sure I could do this if I had pneumonia at the time. Yeah. Don't anybody say bless me. I'm blessed. I've got a beautiful wife and she likes me. Anybody can get blessed more than that, you let me know, because I want some of that too. Gotta tell you, gentlemen, happy wife, happy life. There has never been a more true statement ever uttered by any man ever. Yeah. Luckily, nobody's in here to sit there and receive that whole blast that I just had to let out. If I tried to put it out the window, that might be considered biological warfare. Outlawed by the Geneva Convention. No longer legal. Could be considered an assault weapon. So Nebraska, huh? What part of Nebraska you from, Rustic? I know Gabriel's up in Wisconsin, or at least I believe he's up in Wisconsin. Northeast section of Nebraska. All right. I know the Piper 69 is out in New York. Oh, the town just slipped my name. Closer to Yankton, South Dakota. Okay. So you're not too far then from Mount Rushmore and all of that. I'm sure you hear bikes 8 hours. 8 hours ain't bad. That's a little farther than you want to drive in a day, but there's some places in Texas I could still be in Texas after driving 80 miles an hour for 8 hours. I'm not kidding. Oh. It's a big state. Sometimes too big. I was one time in little town of El Paso, Texas, home of the garbage man Piper, Mel Harris, in case anybody needs to know who he is. And on the last day there, I was told, hey, on your way home, can you pick up a couple of objects that just came online in Texarkana? So I asked them if they had anybody in the Chicago office, and they replied back, why would we send somebody from Chicago? I told them, because they're closer than I am. Only by about 15 miles. Go to Texarkana from El Paso. Oh yeah, that sounds wonderful. Take you 15 hours to drive it if you don't get pulled over for speeding. By the time you get there, you're wore out. Take you 2 days to recover. And then from Texarkana back to Houston is another most of 8 hours. Sometimes they don't read the legend on a map. They just read it on a map and they're like, oh yeah, you're in the same state. Rustic, you be careful. Love seeing you here this morning. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Know that we'll be thinking about you. Good guy. A little scary if you watch some of his podcasts, though. He's got himself a mask he likes to wear. Fun channel, though. Fun channel. Definitely check his channel out if you get the chance. Also, you know, check everybody's channel out when you get the chance. Tobacco Pipes International. If he'll ever show up on my live feeds, I'd love to see him here. Be prepared. I'm about to have a Yabo. I don't know what samples I'm being sent. Maybe he said, maybe he didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I can be honest about it. I didn't pay attention. I got on there just to get in there. I didn't think I'd win. I never win these things. Heck, if I only win one thing a year, I'm ecstatic. I'm just not that lucky. And I've already won one thing this year. I might as well never get in another one. I'm going to. At some point, I'm even going to have my own. I haven't even made 100 subscribers yet. You know who really does really good live videos? Four-Eyed Piper. Also out of New York. His are really good. He runs them well. He keeps conversation going. Cherry on Top does really well. Yardism. Let me think of some other. Oh, London Calling with Simon. Definitely. Tree Piper. Some of our brothers in another country. Some of these I've caught live. Really, really have a good time when I catch other people on their live. I'm not always so sure I have such a good live myself, but I try. Of course, the Garbage Man Piper, he's always got a good something or other going on. Him and his sweet chicken, baby. You can't love some sweet chicken. You might as well not even tune in to Garbage Man Piper. I would suggest finding some love for some sweet chicken. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Well, I'll only be going for about 20 more minutes. Here in about 20 minutes, it'll be 10 o'clock here. The little shop right over there is going to open up. So, if you're smoking, congratulations. If you're not, well, I'm sorry. Oh. I remember being a younger man and not hurting this much. Then again, I also remember people telling me I'd never see 21. Here in a couple weeks, I'll actually make it to 45. Pipes, cigars, sports. Anybody wants to talk sports, we can do that. We'll try to stay off of any more politics or religion. Actually, I haven't even broke into religion, and I refuse. Another bug. Damn it. It's a gnat. Little bitty things. Annoying. Makes your whole ear itch. I think it's because of the fruit flavors in this. It attracts them. This is going to be a good day, gentlemen. And any ladies who happen to tune in, this is going to be a good day. Ladies, I appreciate y'all also. I actually had Harriet Herferville on one of my lives. Unfortunately, she jumped in right at the very end. I stuck around for a little bit longer because she did, but I was just shocked and amazed. I mean, I thought I hit the big time. You get Harriet on your live feed, you have hit the big time, or at least for a little bit. Oh my God. I didn't even know it was you. Howdy. There it is. I've actually broken the number 2 barrier. I cannot believe the timing I have on some of these things. That's awesome. Howdy, Harriet. How are you doing today? Now, I will say, Harriet and her husband put Cherry on top on notice. I thought they were out to destroy him. Hellaciously good video, by the way. I rather enjoyed it. If Derek Trant is the mayor of the YTPC, Harriet is either the first lady or the princess. I'm not sure about the queen. That might have the wrong connotation. I'm lucky enough to have actually seen her 2 times while I'm doing a live. I'm gonna go home and chisel this one into a chunk of stone. The Queen of Herperville. Now, I could understand that. I'm smoking Planta 2016 blend. It's also called the Cosmopolitan mixture or blend. I forget whether it's mixture or blend. Anyways, it's supposed to taste similar to a Cosmopolitan. I don't really catch that. I get a little bit of lime and a little bit of cranberry, and after a little bit, it kind of goes away. It just turns into a real nice bowl of tobacco. How about yourself, Harriet? You having a good day? What you smoking? Or are you smoking? Definitely. By the way, how's your husband? We saw him on video too. Let him know we've all said hi. Or at least I have. A League of 9. Woo! Drew Estates. Going strong this morning. Heck yeah. Good cigar. Anybody who needs a good cigar, if you find something that's from Drew Estates, you've probably found a good cigar. Let's see, Drew Estates, AJ Fernandez, Arturo Fuente, and Padron. And that's pretty much the top 4. Just a petite Corona. Yeah, but you're smoking a cigar. Here in a little over 10 minutes, I'll almost be joining you. Did not care for a Padron. Do you remember which Padron you had, or was it construction issues or flavor profile? What was the issue? I'd love to try and diagnose it so that maybe we can get you into a better Padron for you if you happen to ever try them again. It's okay. It's no big deal. There's almost no difference in the Padron Natural and the Padron Maduro. Maduros are a little smoother. And I like the flavor on the Maduro a little bit better. But that's not necessarily going to fit everybody's flavor profile. If I knew that it was a construction issue, I'll tell you that that was a 1 in 1,000 stick. I've smoked several thousand Padrones in my time, and I've maybe had 3 sticks in all that time that they just didn't smoke well. I like the Padron 7000 Maduro. It is from what they call their classic style. Less than $10, at least here. Flavor issue, okay. No, I've never been on the House Party app. I honestly, I have not. At some point, I might break into it. The plane. Yes, I'm right near an airport. That happens to be a 737. Pretty good sized plane. When they take off, they come right over the top of us. Now, if it's a flavor issue, flavor profile, okay, there's really not going to be a Padron that's going to be in your wheelhouse. Unless your particular flavor profile changes. Padrones are very, well, they're Padron. It is what it is. Okay, well, I will see about getting on it. I'm not sure about today, but during the weekend times, I do look for the apps that might be there. But yeah, House Party. I've seen some of the SOBs from Tennessee that are using Zoom. Connecticut to a Maduro. Okay, good Connecticut. I want you to try this if you can ever find it. The Southern Draw Rose of Sharon. So much flavor. I could not believe that it was Connecticut, except for the wrapper was definitely a Connecticut. I smoked it until my fingers were burning, and then I loaded it into a pipe and finished it off. I was not going to leave a single ounce of that cigar. It was so tasty. I tell people about it all the time. One of the best parts about that company is that it is veteran owned and run. They do a lot of stuff for veterans. And if you're looking for something with a whole lot of kick you in the teeth, I'm going to tell you the Jacob's Ladder from the same company. Now that's a double a hero, and it will get you lit up. I have to go back to that. What was that? Okay, Manyak Singh, howdy. I'm not sure what your sentence was saying. I looked at it twice. I might not be a smart man, but I know when I don't understand. If you want to find that stick, I suggest the Ignite. The Ignite is a Jacob's Ladder, but it is a Lancero size. Just be aware that it is strong. I don't tell people to get after that stick unless they are fully prepared for it to be as strong as it is.
Maybe you can help me. I'm looking for the Hertz airport rental car return.
Okay, if you continue down that direction,
So I'll
sir,
have to turn around.
yeah, you're going to have to hit the U-turn and just keep going down that way. There's a sign that is on the right-hand side of the road, and it says rental cars. And like all the rental car locations are right back in there. Not a problem. You take care. Safe travels. Sorry, my live feed got live fed. Just a guy looking for exactly where to turn his car in. Third plane in 5 minutes. Busy day today. That was not a 737. I cannot tell you what that was, but it was not big enough to be a 737. Oh God. Before I even get forgetful here. Leaf by Oscar. That's a cigar company. They have these cigars and they are wrapped in a cigar leaf that you have to remove so that you can smoke the cigar. The great part about that is you can chop up the cigar leaf and mix it in with any tobacco blend for your pipe. And another 737. Very busy day today. Okay. The Connecticut is great. The Maduro is better than good, but not great. The Corojo is tasty. And the Sumatra is very decent. I haven't had a bad one yet. Sometimes you get some construction issues. I'm not going to lie about that. But the fact that you get the extra leaf that you can, like I said, you can chop it up and add it in with any pipe blend and get a little bit of a taste of a cigar. Now, it's a mild taste of a cigar, but you catch that little bit of flavor. Very nicely done. Nothing more than a little bit of work with some scissors and you've got yourself a nice little pile of extra tobacco. And it's a giveaway item, for the lack of better words. They're giving you pipe tobacco. For the purchase of a cigar, they give you a little extra. As we all know, Cornell and Diehl, C&D, they've got a lot of cigar blends out there. Gabriel, you take care. It's been good seeing you, brother. You know we'll be thinking about you while you're gone. You be safe out there. But yes, if you are a cigar and a pipe smoker, I highly suggest getting to know Leaf by Oscar. Start with the Connecticut, work your way up to the Maduro, find out which one of the 4 blends that they have that you like, but you still get that same cigar wrapper with every cigar. Country Lawyer. Okay, I've got to be on the lookout for that then. Definitely have to be on the lookout for that. Oh, God. A really nice pipe blend that I recently got turned on to by Phil from Briar Report. You can even see my review on the Briar Report magazine at briarreport.org. Is the American Heritage. Tell you what, I was not lying when I said you should break the budget open and get some of that. It was very good, very good. Place is called Christie's House of Pipes and Cigar, or Cigars. I'm not sure if it's plural or not, but that blend was very, very tasty. A little bit reminiscent of Revelation, or the Revelation Match from Sutliff. A bit mild for my tastes, but a lot of flavor. A lot of flavor. Just, let's just say it. If you try some, you'll understand. Very tasty. I can't believe I talked about you right as you jumped on here. That's awesome. It's like I knew. I didn't. It never tells me who's on here until they say something. Yeah, about the same time you try every one of the C&D blends, you've spent $10,000. What is it? 120, 130 different blends they've got out right now? And if you ever need to unghost a pipe, I suggest Haunted Bookshop. Oh yeah. Anybody who's not in some sort of pipe club needs to get into a pipe club, if you're into pipes. Nobody can try every blend, and some blends will be discontinued before you ever even get around to it. Now, when I'm at home and planes fly over, it's either a propeller plane or a military jet. I will agree with you, Harriet. I'm not a big, huge fan of the flavor profile of Haunted Bookshop, but it did suck all of the aromatic out of my pipes. So I tend to... on Sunday, I tend to smoke Haunted Bookshop so that I can give a fresh flavored review on Mondays. Monday, when I tend to do all of my reviews. And when you're going to try and cram 4 pipes worth into one review, you definitely have to start with a clean palate. And part of that is making sure that your pipe does not have a ghost, or at least not strong enough of a ghost to detect. And I had some Planta, the 2010 after dinner mixture, and it coats a bowl so very thickly that you can't help but having a ghost. In fact, yes ma'am, I do. I do have a meerschaum. I'll show it to you real quick. It's about 7 years old. Little bitty bowl. Takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to smoke. And as far as a tasting pipe, great. Absolutely wonderful. Between that and this little clay pipe from the Briar Shop, look, it's even printed on there. If I can't find a blend that I like by smoking one of those or the other, then I probably won't like it. But after I smoke that, then I want to go into the gigantic bowl of the Bent General by Missouri Meerschaum. It's a corn cob. It's huge. Best way to describe it, it's huge. But it really tells me if a bowl that's gigantic is still good for the blend. And it really hammers out. No, not quite an ounce. I like to say a quarter ounce. Now, Tree Piper has a couple of pipes I've seen that they might hold an ounce. Or 50 grams as it would be said over there. He's got wood that I could almost eat cereal out of. It's huge. You could put this pipe inside of his pipe. Caught one of his live feeds when Simon's daughter, London Calling with Simon, his daughter was having an issue and Simon had to break off his live. And Tree took over for him. I try to catch one or two of his feeds every week. All the tattoos and his accent just it really draws me in. I can't seem to turn it off. I'll be tired as all get out the next day, but always seem to have a good time while he's on. And I try to catch a lot of Mike from Briar Blues. He's a good guy. I like him. He's got no problem having a sense of humor while he's doing his feeds. Makes it fun. Some people get on, they tell you the facts, they jump off. They are the Walter Cronkites. I appreciate those people. But then there's the John Candys and the Bill Murrays and the great comedians that are in there, and their feed is so entertaining that I find that whenever they're on, I'm like, okay, tune in, go, go, go. Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, reminder, Mike from Briar Blues is having his GAW today. 8 o'clock his time, I believe it is. Make sure to set a reminder. He's giving away a lot of stuff, and he's giving away more tonight. I mean, I would love to win. I don't expect it. I probably won't. But All you have to do is get in there early enough and say, yes, I'll make a video review of everything you send. And then you have 2 weeks to make the review. So he's giving you plenty of time and a lot of material. I agree with you. There are almost too many gauze going on right now. Some I haven't even found, and I'm always looking for them. Not because I'm wanting to get in on them. Some of them are too complicated. I know I'm not doing anything other than entering to lose. And some of them are so easy that you can't help but get into them because I mean, when they say stuff like, I'm in and I'm subscribed, I think it is great, just like you, because the community is growing, and without growth, we're going to die. Governments are making more issues for pipes and cigars every day. It's hard to stay up on all of it. But if everybody looks at a little bit and tries to help each other out, we're going to be strong for many years. Well, I'd like to stay longer, but I got to get inside. I got some paperwork to do, and their internet works much better in there. So I'm going to be getting off of here. Besides, I'm getting a little annoyed with all the planes flying over right now. As always, everybody, long lives, big bowls, long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon. And I definitely will be trying that house party app soon. Talk to you soon.